I've accepted they're bad.
Oh, yeah.
I've accepted they need to sell. So I'm not losing sleep over it.
Yeah, like what?
What I will lose sleep over is if we're sitting here July 15th and it's been almost 365 days since they've made a trade. And I also need to approve of, because I'm a fan and I spend money on this team, the trades that they make. And
And don't.
And don't. Yeah. And that's what I need, right? So right now, I'm just kind of going, okay, well, the trade deadline hasn't passed yet. I'm open to seeing what they do because I don't have a choice. Like, what choice do I really have? I'm not open to seeing what they do, and life will go on without me. But I'm not emotionally invested in these games anymore. I'll watch them. I'm emotionally invested in specific players. Kind of feels like 15-16. Remember, we're like, man, PA Parento sure will make a great second round acquisition.
Parento Vetchkin.
That's right. Who was the other guy that Michael Grabner? What could he fetch?
They didn't trade either of those men.
Yeah, Eric Brewer, Ole Jokinen. Like these were all
Eric Brewer.
Like they were Leafs.
Yeah.
And you know, like
Eric Brewer in like his second or third game as a Leaf got a silver stick ceremony.
Hilarious.
Because that's where he played his 1,000th game. So the whole arena had to pretend to give a shit about this person they don't know.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Hooray.
Good Eric. Yeah, about this team they didn't give a shit about.
This team they didn't give a shit about.
I'm
with
curious
their
about
horrible logo.
Bobby McMahon's individual performance. I'm curious about whether or not they move on from Scott Laughton, which, you know, listen, I love Scott Laughton. If you're paying him much more than he's already making to keep him around, you're out of your mind.
I changed my mind there. Trade him, get assets.
Take what you can get.
Yeah.
Like Scott Laughton seems like a very tradable piece. It's going to be UFA. Go get a first round pick for him.
And if he comes back, amazing.
If I am Brad Treliving, I'm calling Bill Guerin and going, I heard you need some centers.
Yeah.
I got Nick Waugh. I got Scott Laughton. Are you interested in either of them? Nick Waugh, Stanley Cup winner a couple years ago. Another year left on his deal. Really affordable. Hey, we might even retain for you.
Jesper Wallstedt, please.
Yeah, right. You know, I wonder, that's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm getting from these games. I will start to get frustrated if we pass the trade deadline and they haven't done anything. And I don't mind.
I'm honestly going to be frustrated if they get to the Olympics and they haven't done anything.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah. That's fair. Now,
I think that I also would like to see some of the guys play a little better so that the trades look better to the other GM.
Yeah.
Like Saturday against Vancouver could be a game where a couple guys look good because it's not an opponent who is playing well. You know, so the Leafs need to beat up on some of these lesser opponents and at least boost the value a little on just on the ice of the guys. Like, hey, we're trading them when they scored a couple goals leading into the Olympic break. There's an opportunity for that as well.
And Jesse, I'd like to be 10 pounds lighter and 2 inches taller. Trade them. Trade them. Don't wait. Don't wait for the...
You do want to maximize value.
Sure you do, but you have no control over that. And these guys don't have the talent, will, or both.
I think that's how you have to shift your perspective when you're watching a Leaf game now. And I think also you need to, as a fan, you have every right to send a message to the ownership group going, I'm simply just not going to go. So it's interesting. There's a guy who's on our stream all the time, and he lives in the Vancouver area, and he spent big money on Leafs Canucks tickets this past summer. I think it was $300 for the pair.
You're a Leaf fan?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was Sedin Magic.
And Sedin Magic I think is going to be there too.
Oh, lovely.
But for this Saturday's game, you can now get tickets in Vancouver. Same tickets, $60 a piece.
You know what I want to see in Vancouver?
Leaf fans in Vancouver don't even want to go.
Yeah, you know what I want to see in Vancouver? A building full of Canucks fans. What are you going for? What are you going for? Stop.
And that along with corporate sponsorships, that is going to be the thing that gets Rogers' attention. You want to get this team's attention? Stop buying tickets.
I hope Calgary is red, and I hope Edmonton is orange, ? They've had so many jerseys. Yeah, Leaf fans. Like, here's the thing. Rebuilds, I can do it.
Oh, they're exciting.
We've done it. Yes.
It's fun.
Because all you have is your imagination. all there is potential, and Josh Levo's going to score 50 goals one day, maybe in his career. Like, but you don't know that. You're like, he's maybe got 30 goal potential. He
did have a great shot.
Yeah. And I'm going to write features on Colin Smith, who I don't even remember if he played with the Marlies.
Hey, you might even write one on Ben Smith.
Tobias Lindbergh. Ben Smith.
Captain
of the Calder Cup winning Toronto Marlies.
Very nice guy.
Yes. They're actually kind of fun. This part where they're dead, but nothing's been done about it. Agony.
Mm-hmm.
Agony.
I also want to say this to everybody that says, you got to trade Matthews. You're not winning that trade, number one. You will lose that trade.
You're getting murdered.
You're going to get crushed on that trade. Number two, people who think right now, well, Austin Matthews wants out, because Elliot Friedman did bring up the point, and I think it's a salient one. Make sure this summer that Austin actually wants to stay and be a part of this.
All anyone has said is that he's probably staying, guys.
All anyone said is that he wants to be here and that he wants to win. Those are the two things I keep hearing. I think that anybody saying, he's just going to want out, this is a guy that's been given 9 opportunities to win the Stanley Cup. Every year he has played for the Toronto Maple Leafs, Austin Matthews has made the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Varying degrees of success, varying degrees of talent.
Not many teams around the league can boast that.
But 9 years has not missed the playoffs. This will be the first April, very likely, that he won't be in. Okay?
Yeah.
If he said to the Leafs, after all those opportunities, this is the first sign of trouble, I'm out of here, I would be shocked. Everybody, all the greats go through this. Now, if he was 33, I'd be like, I could see why maybe he won out. But the Leafs have an opportunity here to do what the Rangers did, who else has done a really good retool in recent memory? Like truly, truly good. Like I would say, you know what? The Panthers made some really savvy moves. They made the playoffs, got booted. Huberdeau and Barkov had that great year, and then they make the Tkachuk trade. Sets them up for the Cup.
Kind of underratedly Tampa. But
Tampa's back, dude.
Yeah, they've found a way to retool while also making the playoffs the entire time.
I'm not asking the Leafs to hit that level because it's not going to happen.
Minnesota?
Yes.
Did you say Boston?
Minnesota made a great... they were in cap hell. $15 million against the cap. And in those 3 years where they had that cap penalty, they made the playoffs twice. And now they're a Cup favorite.
This is why I can't stand the idea that the Leafs are losing now and, you know what? Let's evaluate. Bill Guerin made those decisions years ago, and he's been evaluating this very moment ever since. Mm-hmm. And he's arrived at it. He's got Quinn Hughes. He's talking about trading one of the best young goalies in the world because he thinks they can really friggin' go for it. Kirill Kaprizov is signed to the biggest cap hit in NHL history. Like, this is all by design. He's been plotting this for years. And should we trade Simone Benoit? Fuck me. Really? My kingdom for a hockey team. We're evaluating. Gag me with a spoon.
Well, he's not going to tell. I understand why politically he's not saying that, but I think they're selling. And that's pretty obvious.
The other option is doom.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, the other option's apathy, which is doom, I guess.
Yes, that's doom.
And Jesse and I always talk about the Islander game we saw when the Leafs were in the Horacek era, and Tavares came in and scored the overtime winner. And won the game. And remember, Jesse, the arena wasn't sold out, and the apathy was deep. People were just like, "Fuck off! I'm not coming." Yeah. And it was after 10 years of no success and still selling out. I'm telling you right now, the Leafs don't have that kind of leeway with the fans anymore. They will buy in to a rebuild or a retool. They will not buy into middling team with no first round pick.
And when you speak with your wallet, and you don't spend on the Leafs, and you spend it on a different sports team instead,
it goes to the same
money goes into the same pocket.
Yes. Now, Jess, I'm curious about I have a couple names I want to run by you. If you're the Toronto Maple Leafs, you probably want to do what Boston did and be good next year, but that's a tough pill, right?
Get a friggin' shot.
Boston's pro scouting is amazing. Look at Murat Kuznetsov, obviously.
Fraserman!
They're getting good performances out of guys that just didn't work out elsewhere. Do you look at this Toronto Maple Leafs retool and go, it should be 6 months, which is what Boston did, right? Started selling at the deadline. Now they're going to make the playoffs the next season. Maybe they're not the greatest team, but they still got pasta and they're great. Or do you say 18 months and go, I expect the next 18 months will be a lot of rejigging and we're expecting to really go for it in 27, 28. What do you think will happen?
No, I think you have to try and win next year. This is the Austin Matthews thing. Like, you only have so many kicks at the can with a player like that. If you like moved off of Austin Matthews, you'd be spending the entirety of your franchise trying to get a player like Austin Matthews. So that never made sense to me. But you're trying to be competitive next year.
Yeah, and Willie and Nyes and all three of your goalies and most of your decor. Like, I don't think the Leafs are. I don't think they can strip it down to the studs, right? Like,
I think a lot of what you named is very tradable.
Yeah, I agree.
yes.
Were you were naming those guys to keep?
No. Well, you don't have to move them, is what
Sure.
I'm saying. You don't have to.
I just don't know what you get
You
done if
ought
you
to
don't.
move Oliver Ekman-Larsson.
Yeah.
You should probably move a goalie, but I don't know what that looks like, and you should wait till the offseason to do it. But like, there's a lot of guys under contract you just don't have to move, and there's a few of them that you probably shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
And like Nick Waugh, the more I think about it, I'm like, Jesus, someone's going to pay a crazy premium for that guy.
You got to
Scott Lawton, someone might pay like a first and a decent prospect for him. Oh, wait a sec. I don't know. Just stop calling TSN.
Well,
Make
I want
a trade.
That's why I want to talk to you about it, because I think it's sort of like what are reasonable expectations? Because Jesse, if you say, hey, they gotta be in it next year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying they're going to be at a Dallas or a Colorado level, but you have to have an outside shot at it, and I agree with that. That means then that potentially at this trade deadline, or at least at July 1st, or just before draft July 1st, you know what I'm talking about. You're making a move for a major piece coming in. You're buying.
You should always be big spenders in free agency.
Sure, but there's not a lot of great free agents available. And it looks like if Panarin gets traded, he will not be a free agent.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I really hope they don't just do the free agency thing again, because that's kind of what they've done all the years. We make a bunch of moves at the trade deadline, we send out all our assets, and then we get whatever we can at free agency and pick up those players. Like, I would like to see them be more creative in the trade avenue and get the young players for the quicker retool.
yeah. And I think,
I agree, but
well, no, but hold on.
They won't even do boring moves.
Yet. And we're hoping that they do. And since we're getting to that, like this is, let's look at the unrestricted free agents. Panarin, Bobrovsky, Ovechkin, Laine, Carlson, Trouba, Hayes, Anze Kopitar. So most of those guys are staying with their teams or retiring.
Which Carlson?
John Carlson. Gino Malkin, Anthony Mantha, Claude Giroux, Jordan Eberle, Marcus Johansson, Charlie Coyle, Rasmus Anderson, who I think will be signed pretty soon, Patrick Kane, who will stay in Detroit, Zuccarello, Tolvanen, Lee, Anders Lee, that is, Tarasenko, Bunting, McMahon, Arvidsson, Corey Perry, Brent Burns, David Perron, Eric Holla, Boone Jenner, James Van Riemsdyk, Evander Kane, Victor Olofsson, Mason Marchment, John Gabriel Pageau. Like,
There's
these
some
are
names.
not, there's names, but like these are not franchise changing names. And I think that when we talk about this retool, it starts with Austin Matthews, number one. Number two, if you're going to move off of a Nyes or a Nylander, there needs to be the stud defenseman who is top 15, top 10 in the league. Good. That it has to be that good.
Yep.
And again, I ask, if the Leafs had been in this position in November, which they actually kind of were, Quinn Hughes was available, could you not have called and put a package together with Matthew Nyes? Like, tell me that doesn't get Vancouver's attention.
We would have to.
And so you're now going to have to wait for the next guy like that to become available. And maybe you look at
Fox.
An Adam Fox, a Zach Werenski. I don't know if Zach Werenski is going to stay in Columbus. He's got a year and a half left. I
don't know if anyone would blame him.
I don't either.
Like,
but
where you talk about guys who have been in a place for a long time and had to eat shit.
Yep.
Zach Werenski.
Yep. And I'm spitballing here, but we got to get creative. So that move would have to happen. And I think the other major thing that the Leafs are going to have to do, because centers they have sort of sorted out this year, what's become apparent, very clear to me, is they don't have a second line center. John Tavares needs to be 3C. It's too much what they're asking from him. And they're going to have to, as a part of this retool, Jesse, if they're going to be in it the next 2 years, they need to find a legitimate top 6 option behind Austin that can put 60, 80 points on the board. And I don't know how they do that.
The list is so long of things that they need to do, and they've done none of them. And this is my frustration. It's not game in, game out, the losses. I've accepted it. I've accepted it fairly quickly and cordially. What I can't accept is you doing nothing in the midst of it.